What's up, everyone? Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time here, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you like what you see. Please check out my other movie reviews as well as short films that I've created over time and will continue to create as long as I can. Leave a thumbs up if you like them. Keep it professional in the comments. I will get back to you. And to those who have been watching my stuff, thank you so much for always coming back and your support. It means a lot. And I know I just did Maxine, and here I am with another movie review in Twisters, starring Glenn Powell, or Daisy Edgar Jones. She's the lead, the main character, then Glenn Powell, and Anthony Ramos and Glenn Powell, and many other actors, but they're like the main three. And I had fun with Twisters. I saw it in 4DX. If you haven't seen it yet, I think 4DX is the way to go. I'm not a fan of 4DX, but I did see Twisters in 4DX, and it was a lot of fun. Not a lot of water splashing, which I would have preferred. I did have it on, but whenever I go to the 4DX, I never feel a lot of water splashing on me, and it's like, what's going on? There should be water in this scene. Like, if I have it on, I should be getting splashed on, but whatever. It was fun. It really had that 90s vibe. I really enjoyed that. It reminded me of the first film. Again, it was different. I mean, it was different in itself. Like, it didn't rehash or tread the same tropes of the first film. Like, Daisy Edgar Jones, she lost her boyfriend and her friends. And she just wants nothing to do with that anymore. And her friend Anthony Ramos tries to get her back in because he needs her help, because she's really good at understanding tornadoes and when they're forming and whatnot. And he wants to try to use this technology that he got from, I don't know, the military, or he took some from, he kind of, I guess you could say, borrowed it in a way. Like, they were just, I guess they're like the beta versions or something. He didn't really take it, I guess, from how I remember, as if it was given to him. But I believe he just, took it and uses them to try to get 3D model of a tornado. They never call it Twisters. It's always Tornado. So I don't know why they don't just call the film Tornado. Even though there is a movie called Tornado with Bruce Campbell, but they just call it Twister. Or Twisters. So, anyways, Anthony Ramos has this device. He wants Daisy Edgar Jones' character to help her, but she wants nothing to do with it. But she eventually decides, in a week, I'll do it, and then I'm out of here. And then eventually they meet Glenn Powell, who's another tornado wrangler, if you will. He chases tornadoes, and I believe he what's cool about his vehicle is, like, they drills down so it can't get taken, and they shoot fireworks into the tornado. Now, I don't know if it's like it evaporates the tornado, or the idea for Daisy Edgar Jones' character is that she had a solution, like this property that she wants to put in the tornado, and it takes it and evaporates the tornado. I believe to get rid of it before it destroys town. So that was part of the film, the idea of trying to figure that out, how to make it work. So eventually there's a lot of twisters or tornadoes, and it causes havoc in different towns, and it's just trying to figure out how can we save people before it gets worse and they lose everything they have and their lives. So that's pretty much the film. Pretty much, not the same premise as the first one, but the idea of the first one is just trying to figure out how the tornadoes work and, before they form, and getting on top of that. And you kind of see the little device with the wings or whatever spiral that's used, that was created in the first one, that was used correctly eventually in the first film, and you see it used again here. But she uses this new solution, or wants to use this new solution, Daisy Edgar Jones, to try to, I guess, evaporate the tornadoes. And Glenn Powell, he comes off, you think his character is a little wild and just all about himself, and because he records himself, but you find out later on that he does what he does to help, raise money and to help victims of, who lost their houses and whatnot. So he becomes more of a likable character. And then Anthony Ramos, who's doing the side thing with a businessman, Daisy Edgar Jones realizes you're not doing this for the right reasons, even though he doesn't mean to do wrong, but the way he's going about it is wrong. So that causes a little rift, and then in the end, he redeems himself and he tells the guy, I don't want to work with you no more. He leaves, and he goes to help Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell's character to help the last town that's about to get destroyed by this big tornado, which it's different. Now you're more up close or in the tornado, versus in Twister, you see it from afar and how it's coming and causes destruction. So I don't know if I appreciate the closeness of the tornado because it was just so big, and I like that distance, but seeing that if they're close to it, it can be dangerous. So I don't know. I thought there was a difference in that. Not that it was bad, but it was a little too up close, and I just didn't really care for that in that regard. But other than that, it was just 2 hours too long. I mean, it wasn't bad 2 hours, but I just felt like it could have been a little shorter. What I did like about the film is that it didn't focus on Daisy Edgar Jones and Glenn Powell. Like their attraction is there, but I'm glad that it didn't amount to anything until the end where he's like, "I'm gonna go with you back to New York," but they can't because the flight was canceled because of a storm. So obviously they get to stay back in, I believe it's Oklahoma, where the film takes place. So I like that element that they didn't go for a kiss or like really phone in on their attraction, because I felt like she just, even if it was a few years, she lost a boyfriend. Like all of a sudden, Glenn Powell's character comes, and obviously he has that attraction to him, and she didn't really feed into it, which I liked, and it allowed them to kind of build to that through their experience and their eventual appreciation of each other's work and what they do, and leave it to the end to be like, okay, they might form a relationship eventually, but it didn't like rush to a kiss or nothing. I thought it would have been cheesy, and I'm glad it didn't go that route. I know I've read people wanted that, and I know the director, I believe he said he didn't want that for a reason. He explained. I didn't get to read it, but I agree. I'm glad that it wasn't there. It wasn't necessary. The attraction was there, and it built up to something in the end that eventually they can form a relationship, but we don't always need to see that. And I just also think that because she lost her relationship, I just felt like it was still fresh, and I didn't need to see it. But I liked the film. I thought it was fun. If you saw Twister, check out Twisters. I don't know if it's an actual sequel of the same world, or it's just like a spiritual successor, or if it's just its own thing and not part of the same world, but it has a similar element. But because I don't really think they explain that very much. You don't see any of the characters from the first film or hear about them. But I enjoyed it. I gave it 2 thumbs up. Twisters was great. Do they need another one? Honestly, I don't think it's the type of film that needs another a sequel. Maybe if it's its own thing, like this one felt like its own thing from Twister. Like there was nothing similar other than the little device in the beginning. But I mean, who doesn't want more tornado films? If they do it right and make it more interesting and not the same thing, I think it would be fun to watch another film based on tornadoes and whatnot. At one point there's like a flame tornado because it takes up fire, so it's like a flaming tornado, which is pretty cool. You didn't see that in the first one, so there's a lot of differences to the first film, and the first film is a classic. But if you haven't seen Twisters, I give it 2 thumbs up. Check it out. Deadpool's coming up, Deadpool Wolverine, so I'll be doing a review for that movie review, and I'm pretty sure I'll like that. So I know Maxine was a thumbs up, thumbs down, and it was kind of a miss for me. But Twisters is definitely 2 thumbs up. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think about the film. If you're interested, I will get back to you, and I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Until next time, later.